In this episode, we're going to talk about one of the questions we get a lot. Should I send more emails per week, or should I send just a few emails? It's a great question. You know why? Because what is more emails per week, and what is few emails per week? So, I'm going to tell you a story. One of the clients we had a conversation with a couple of weeks ago, they probably make $10 million in revenue, and they spend $5,000 every 6 weeks to buy a lead list of 10,000 people, and they do what we call the spray and pray method. So they just blast everyone with an email, and they are getting a reply rate of 0.001%. Let us sink in for a minute. I mean, no one should be spending that much of money, that amount of money, and have so little ROI. So it's not really a matter of quantity. For us, we try to esteem quality over quantity. I'm going to show you why. If you're ramping up an outbound sales process, so outbound meaning you send a lot of emails, you send a lot of cold calls, you're doing a lot of touches, which are not inbound. You have two options in terms of emails, right? So on this part of this chart, you see that we have the number of emails per week. Let's use that for that axis. You have two options. You have option A, where you send fewer emails per week. That's a great option. It's possible. And you have option B, where you send a lot of emails per week. Now, I need to say that you also got to reverse engineer and see the kind of revenue goals you have and so on. But generally, you have two options, right? So, which one is a better option? Well, that's a really tricky question. But one thing you need to keep in mind is this. So, on this axis, you have the quantity, the number of emails you send, and here you have the quality. Now, quantity and quality, we have noticed they have an inverse relationship. I'm going to put my R here. An inverse relationship. Now, what is an inverse relationship, you would ask? So, the more emails you send, the likelihood is that the quality might be low, right? So, you send a ton of, let's say you send 2,000 emails per week. That's really great. But the quality, we found that you wouldn't be able to put in a lot more effort and a lot more research into that. And then you have the other side of the inverse relationship, where you send fewer emails, and then the quality could be really high. This is what we do actually. So we send fewer emails, and the quality is really high. And I'm going to tell you, I'm not really going to say, hey, choose quality over quantity and so on and so forth, or send 20 emails per week or so on. But I want you to think about the persona you're reaching out to, the goals you have in mind, the revenue targets you have, and have this in mind that the reason why we send in small batches is for three main reasons. The first one is that we are able to split tests, right? So you send, let's say, 100 emails, or you send 50 versus 50, and you're able to measure different variables and see which email is working, which one is not, and then you're able to reiterate over, the next campaign or the next outreach. A second reason is that it helps you to stay consistent. This is a long-term game. It's a long-term, commitment. You got to be committed for the long term. So you want to send in small batches, improve them over a long period of time. Some people say, "Oh, I actually just sent 2,000 emails to people and I had no reply." And I ask a simple question: did you follow up? No. How many times did you follow up? Just once. Nobody replied. That is not committed. That is not committed enough. That is not a long-term consistency. So sending in small batches helps you to follow up and make sure that you're doing things which are pretty solid when it comes to that. And the third reason is also really super simple. It helps you to be super targeted on the people you're researching or the people you're reaching out to. Because if you have, let's say you send in 200 people, you can do a lot more detailed research than when you send it to 1,000 people. So these are things you need to keep in mind when it comes to choosing quantity or quality as far as your outbound campaign is concerned. For some company, 1,000 might be small. For some company, 10,000 might be too much. But you need to know that these three things would help you to stay on top in terms of quality and quantity. We're sharing a lot more episodes coming up in the next couple of weeks. So Remember to subscribe. Let me know how this is working for you. Be happy to hear from you. And if you have any ideas, if you have any, questions regarding getting qualified meetings and so on, hey, feel free to shoot us an email, team@Katallyze.io. We'll be happy to share with you some more details and more information. See you in the next episode.